Hello and welcome back. It's part 13 of the SBD-5 Dauntless build. We're going to start painting some of the little small parts that have to be put on the plane, like the propeller, the rear gunner gun. So let's head over to the bench and take a look. Oh, hello. We're getting quite close to being done here, besides really working on the base. I got all the decals that have to go on except for the little symbols that go on the propeller. And that, I do have the decals right here, so, and that's these three right there. Those got to go on there, that's for, and so right now, all the decals are on the plane, so I was able to glue a couple other pieces on it, and did another clear coat. And I did a clear before I did the decals, and then put the decals on and did another clear coat, and it is looking really nice. Also got the flaps all situated on there before I wanted to do that before I clear coated it. So you can see that that's the flaps that they open when they're doing coming down for a dive bomb. I guess it's supposed to give them more stability at those speeds and coming in at that 70 or so degree angle. Yep, but there was a lot of, little writings and stuff like that, were actually easier to see now that I did a clear coat, because you're not getting that shiny glare. And everything right now looks, it still needs time to dry. It's dry to touch, but I don't want to be touching it too much. But it really tied in the different blues, and so that's really nice. Having a little weirdness happen here with the clear coat on this symbol, but it's kind of cool because we can make that look damaged, so it's not a big worry. There's a little bit of a weirdness in the white there, and we can make, I can take a little bit of the metal on a sponge and make that look like a hit, and dirty it up and put a little maybe rust in those spots, where it, and this seam here in the wing, the decal probably didn't seat completely. They all looked really good. The bottom one did really well. You have to say the bottom one did really well. So, but yeah, just at the top, so we'll make that look like some damage was done to this side of the wing. Here I'll do, like I said, some, a silver on a sponge, make it look like a hit, and then blacken it with soot and dirt, like maybe it got, hit right there, like something skimmed off it. So any of that stuff's all just happy little weathering that tells a story. It's the nice thing about like doing Star Wars models, you can always, unless you're trying to go completely accurate, but any little happy accidents can, just make things nicer. What did we do underneath? A lot of stuff was done underneath. I think I showed it that I had the two 100-pound bombs on there, the 1,000-pound bombs on there. It's got its swing arm is on there now. That's the arm that swings it down so it can drop and miss the propellers. The wheels are all sitting on there nice, although I did clear with a satin with the tires on, and I didn't want to do that because now I got to dull the tires down, but that's okay. That's not a big deal. I can even just hit that with Scotch-Brite. I've still got to paint this tire in the back because it's molded into the plastic. I haven't done that yet. I got to put the clear piece. Hopefully I can get this little square clear piece in there. There's a lens that goes in there, and I'm not sure if anything happens, like if that's just left white with a clear piece in it, or should I hit it with a little bit of an aluminum color, kind of make it look, because I'm thinking it's a light, you know, whether it's when it's on the deck and there's a light that shines. I have no idea what it really is. I should really look to see what it is, but that's what it looks like it would be. I mean, that looks like a high density bulb fake, you know, with the lens over top. I can't think of what else they would have that on. I painted the navigation beacons that are on the ends silver. All the little struts that move those flaps are painted silver and white. So, you know, decals are on the bomb, on the 1,000-pound bomb. I did the writing and this yellow stripe. So that's cool. That's glued on. I think that's about pretty much it. You know, there's a little bit of writing decals all over the place, but I don't want to touch this. It still needs to cure. But yeah, definitely adding the clear coat over top of the decals. I can read the pilot's name and the gunner's name, you know, because it's black on navy blue. So, but oh, and this is the base that I'm gonna go with. At one time, I was gonna have this thing flying, you know, like it's coming down. But I don't have a pilot, and it would look kind of silly with a plane looking like it's coming in for a landing, and make this look like an aircraft carrier deck, you know, just even if it's just a chunk, you know. But yeah, I think that would look a little silly with no pilot, and then I would have to find a mounting point, which I was thinking somewhere in here, and have it coming down like it's coming in for a landing. But I think it's nicer that Crowbar can sit it down to display it, but if he wants to pick it up to look at it, and see, he can do that. So I'm gonna leave it at that. And this base that I had from Hobby Lobbies fits perfect. I bought a bunch of these, you know. So, but yeah, so now we're just painting pieces. I painted the dual 30 cal guns for the gunner, the scope that goes up here in the front by the pilot. I think that's what he looks at through when he's like aiming at a ship, when he's doing in the midst of a dive. They don't have these things in the instructions, but just reference photos and stuff like that, you know. And that's what that one canopy, pilot canopy in the front, has the hole for that thing's scope to come through. And I want that on there, even though I do have the bombing thing dish in front of them too. But all the options shown. But there's other things that they're not telling you what they are, like as options. I'm trying to think of what else I saw, and I was like, oh, okay, that'd been nice to tell. So I think the decal on the bomb, it was a 1 or 2. I don't know if it's supposed to be together, but I'd put them both on. But you know, I got the exhaust pipes painted. I'm gonna put them on here soon. I could probably put that on right away. But I think what we'll do first is we're gonna mix up some of that green that we used for the inside, because the gun itself I did in a gunmetal, but the shield that he like looks through and gives him protection, and the thing that holds it, I'm going to do as the color of the interior. They say silver, I think, for these two things, but any reference pictures I've seen of them on the plane, they are the same color as the ship. So we're going to do the same color as the ship. And this is the pad that goes on the back seat of the pilot. I guess it's for his head or something. His head must rest against that, but or something. I don't know if they're looking forward that you can have that. So I don't know. I don't understand the pad on the real long rod that sticks through the seat. But we're getting that painted on now too. I didn't want to have that on when I have to mask over that. So, and the pad I did in the brown. I think that's the brown I used for the. I think it's the brown, same brown I used for the seat or the gunner's seat. I'm hoping. I'm gonna check. I hope I have a picture of it. Maybe, maybe not. We'll find out. That's another nice thing about pictures. Because I thought it was lighter. Yeah, it is lighter. So I must have used the lighter tan. So what we'll do is then we'll do the lighter color over top of that. And then this can... I won't do a heavy coat. I'll do a lighter coat and then the darker tan will come through. I know I used that on a bag on one of the walls, but I wasn't sure if I used it as a cushion, but we'll see. I didn't. So, oh well. I needed the color out to make the green because I used the green and that brown, so no biggie. I don't need a lot. So this is gonna need like a real tiny drop. Whoop. Well, it might take two. You can see immediately that brown brings the green, the bright neonish. I know that'll work. It doesn't have to be exact. So much of that stuff in there is a wash, so I'm gonna have to hit this with a wash. And it's okay to have that. At least I'm okay with it, having that different contrasting green. That's why I like some of those cases that are on the walls I did just in this green. So it'll be similar because it's green base as this, but then I didn't have the brown in it. And it just gives it that little different contrast to it. But, you know, I'm going to paint these while they're on the sprue for now. I'm just going to hand paint them because they're tiny, and this acrylic paint will level itself out. That's what I love about it. It's going to look brushy now and come back to it a minute later, and A, it's dry, and B, it's not globby and clumpy looking. Alright. Why did I put it way over there? I don't know. And we'll do the shield. And that one, that one, the actual shield, I'm going to cut one of those sprue parts off, just so I only have one side to contend with. It's usually the best way to do it. If you don't need all the sprues to hold the part in there, just the paint. Cut them off so you don't have to. I only have to touch up one side. There we go. That's the two pieces. And let them dry. Still doesn't look like the same part. But whatever. I'll have to touch that one up too. Alright, put that somewhere where they don't touch. What else do we gotta paint? We'll leave that green out because we're gonna need it. Oh, I need that green for this. Although ideally I should be doing the tan again. Maybe that's what we'll do. Too much stuff on my way. A plane I should actually put away because it's I always put it. But yeah, it's looking really good. I always put it where I can grip something on it or do that first before we do the green. Now if we can do this really light, a little bit of that darker brown will work to our advantage. I wonder if I even did that as well as added a little bit of the other brown to make that seat. There. I think that's where my brush strokes could come in handy because I can. There we go. That looks like a seat cushion. There we go. I don't need the buttermilk brown or creamish. What's next? Black. Actually, I want to... Oh, and I need to do some spots on this green. And silver. Oh, boy. Well, I need the green and the brown because I already have a mixture, so we can put those away. I wonder if I should do this, or basically this, 10, and then I'm gonna have like almost chrome, shiny silver. listen to you. Which is the I'm going to do that zinc that I did the hull color of the Enterprise NX1. It's like a silver, but it's a duller silver, and then the tip I'm going to do in the anniversary silver, which is a very bright chromy like silver, because I think that's what they're showing on these propellers. That's what they look like. Yeah, it's kind of like a casted part with a chrome cap. That's exactly what it looks like. Casted piece with a chrome that holds the propellers and everything with a chrome cap. But that zinc could look quite casted like that. Yeah, so I think that would be good. And I think we're going to want to do that first, and then I can either spray these, or I could brush them, and I think I'm going to just end up just brushing all this. Because it's all real easy. And I think I should do the chrome first and stuff, because I can get all the way around, and then I can just do the black up to it. I think that would be the best. And it's a real dark until it dries, and then it gets a lighter sheen to it, more of a silvery. It'll be probably a little darker than a cast looking part, but that's okay. This is what I use for a hull, not the Aztec, right? There's the Aztec there. I'll paint these up. That's what it should do. That'll lighten up. 'Cause right now it's almost like a gunmetal. And which it is. It's like a light gunmetal or metal. It's like almost a silvery gunmetal. At least the way it looks like on the NX1. But I gotta remember, when it's wet, it's dark, and then when it dries, all those little silver flakes become more noticeable. We'll hit this first. We'll hit all around. That way we can get all the way around the propeller blades. There we go. The sides, yep. We're definitely going to need another coat. Also, sometimes you can leave that highlight, since this is a gray. You can leave that highlight where it falls off of the high points in the mold in the part. You can sometimes let that go, but that might work for all that part. Let's see how it dries. Even just that quick blow drying, and yeah, it's changed like 2 shades already. And I might leave it like that, the way it's leaving those high spots is lighter spots where, you know, it's allowing you to really see the detail. So we'll let that go. We'll let that sit and dry a little more. But I think I'm going to do this. I was thinking about doing a silver or something else, but I think what I'm going to do, and then we're still going to keep the end green, you know, I think so. But I think I'm going to hit it with this. I'm really liking how it's dark, metal-y look to whatever this braided line is. I'm not even sure what this is. I wish I did, so I could talk about the part correctly. It goes around the seat of the pilot. Like, here's the back of the seat. It goes around like this. So, and the only way I know that is from looking at a picture of somebody else's build. Because the picture, one thing I do have to say about Academy is, as much as I love everything, their detail work is, you know, getting up there with Bandai. The quality of the casts and the molds were really well. I mean, the plane fit together pretty good. You know, real good. You know, seams work was minimum. But there we go. But yeah, I don't know what it is. You know, but yeah, their instruction on where parts go sometimes is a lot to desire. Like here for the gun, it just points. You know, that goes under the guns. The holder goes there, and then they just point down into the canopy. They just point right, you know, down into the airplane, and no real what part it goes on or anything. You know, so you know, all you know is this goes there and then goes down in there, and you kind of got to figure it out yourself. I found that in a lot of stuff. They're very vague with the arrows. I'm pointing where stuff goes. Yeah, here's the shot. They show it going like almost to the front of the plane, but I saw somebody else say it's back here. It's not over here, but I'll have to check to make sure. I think they mean this end goes to that tip, which will go around the seat. That's probably what they mean. But man, that's bad. I mean, the only good one is this seat here. They show that going into the hole. But I mean, but there's many other parts where I'm like, that's come up. So far, as far as I haven't done the Franklin for Mobius, but I like Mobius's. I definitely am going to say Mobius has the best instruction book as far as the way it's laid out and the way it looks. Now we'll see how accurate it is. But they definitely have. There we go. I think that's good with that. We'll let that set and we'll put the green on it and then we'll do the green on there. Everything is on here. We got to do these little antennas and those white. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Those antennas in the antique bronze. I'm not sure. I think we could. It's like I could almost do those in the... This actually got more of a silver look to it than what those have. That might be a good idea. I'm going to do the exhaust in this. Brighten it up a bit. What I'll do is, since the other's darker, I won't paint into the exhaust hole. Yeah, I like that. Good idea. I think I did add some brown, the other brown to that, because that's way too light. I must have added a drop of brown, and I think I did, to bring it down to more of a leather color. We'll see what happens when a clear coat hits it. It might thin, and I'll be able to see the other color. So, I think we got to do this green really quick. Yeah, and that's looking really nice. Maybe I should put a second coat on that. we go. Okay. I wonder if we should do this part like that. I don't even know what this is either. But that would be cool. That I want to hit with a flat black just to. It's going to be that and that. Are going to be the only two things I think up on that. Yeah, you know what? Let's do it. Yeah, I like that. Alright. Getting down on battery power, but let's see if we can, you get the chrome part on here. I'm going to need a little bit of a closer light. Yeah, I like that. It's nice to do contrasts and stuff because there's so much in life, you know. So that worked really nice. I don't know if you can see that. But the difference between the two, and you know, now that makes that dome look like it's a chrome piece, and once that silver dries it gets really shiny, so it's a little dull now, but yeah, I like it. That's exactly what I want. And then we'll do the wings, we'll do the fins in a black, and then give her a clear. Now what else? What else? What else? What else? Anything else that's got to get hit silver? Anything on here? I don't think so. This is looking good. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, those look better. Yeah, those look way better. So we can be able to glue those on really soon. They're drying, yeah. So I don't think anything else silver until I close this up, and then I'm like, oh, I should have hit that silver. Oh, the underneath of this plane. But I'm getting worried that my battery's dying, so when we come back I should be able to, I should have all this stuff in. This is a simple paint, and then I gotta paint the tips yellow, which is a simple, you know, I could hit it with a piece of tape. I think I might just brush them on. I could use the decals, but I don't know about the decals. They never look right. Do I have a simple yellow and an acrylic? Yeah. But until then, I'm going to keep painting little parts, and we'll finally glue them on. So, see you soon.